Hello. A lot of elderly women are lonely in their marriages. Not because they are divorced, it's because you see, when you are young, you have this, you're anxious, you want to travel abroad, you want to visit another country, especially if you're coming from a country where maybe you're not privileged. So, if you now decide to travel abroad when you're young, both of you, husband and wife, you travel and you settle in. Abroad is not, you're coming from a different country where you grew up, where you know everything, to another country where you have to start from the scratch. So, definitely, both of you will now team up and, you team up to make the life work. You have kids together, you grow up together. When these men are in Africa, they have this certain freedom where everybody respect them. They can send anybody an errand, they will go easily for them. They have money. If they have money, they can have themselves a gate man. If they have a house, they have security men, they have cook, they have drivers. In Africa, they have this freedom to do whatever they want to do. But unlike abroad, you don't have that freedom. You can't just have a security man, except you are super rich. So I'm not talking about the super rich, I'm talking about the average man. So they have to come here, they have to do things together. The wife will be working, the man will be working. Probably in Africa, the man will be the head of the house, provide for the family. Maybe the woman is doing little. But abroad, the woman is making money, the man is making the same money. So they are sharing responsibility together. They have kids, the kids are growing. They have to look after the kids. It's not like in Nigeria that you have family members to come and help you look after your kids, or neighbor. You can decide to even leave them at home. There's no age limit to leave children at home. But here in the UK where I am, you can't just leave children. So he said up you have to plan it with your husband. Your husband is working day, you are working night. Sometimes you have to compromise jobs, because if your husband is going to work a certain job, you cannot work, and you still have to work to support. Because if you have to leave the bill for the man alone, he can't afford it. So it becomes so complicated. As they start getting older, the kids are growing up, the man will start contemplating to relocate back to Africa. That is where the problem starts, especially when they turn like 50 or 60 years. They are fed up of this country, or wherever country they want to go back home. So they've built a mansion for themselves back home, thinking that now that I'm going home, my children will come with me, my wife will come with me. It's not like that in all cases. So by the time the man is not planning to go home, the woman is thinking, oh, my children are still in school. What am I going to leave these kids for? All right, the man will say, okay, I'm going. He leaves. By the time he gets to Africa, maybe the family members will come around, because he's been long that he left Africa, so he will not be used to the lifestyle in Africa anymore. He will not be missing his wife and kids. He'll be alone in his big mansion, because the kids they didn't grow up in Africa, so they are not used to the African mentality and lifestyle. You will hear these kids say, "Mom, I'm not going to Africa." Some really love it; they want to go. Yeah, but some say, "I don't want to go to Africa." Or maybe if they visit, they just spend 2 weeks or 3 months at most. They are running back. Then it comes to a stage, the man is tired. He will now say, I can't survive. I've overused my money. Africa is not easy. Comes back to the UK. By the time he comes back to the UK, everything is upside down again. He's tired. He no more have that opportunity to visit his friends, to go to parties, to go on the street where people are hailing him or respecting him. He comes back to the system whereby everybody's minding their business, whereby you might not see your neighbor for months or years, as the case may be. If you open your door, nobody's coming to knock. Depression will set in. They start fighting their wives. But before you know it, you see that the man will now go home and start having concubine and just decide to settle down, marry in Africa, and don't come back. A lot of women are passing through that right now. Then secondly, if you now decide to leave your children and go with your husband, you will not have peace, because how can you just walk your life, have kids, and just abandon them without nobody's supervising them? Especially if they are not up to 18 years. It's very delicate. If they are 18 years, they are adults, so they can decide to go to uni or decide to live alone in the house, no problem. But once they are not up to 18 years, you have problem with the government. So the woman now decide to stay with the children and look after the children. The man will never be happy. You see that you start causing problem in the family. Before you know, sometimes it will even lead to divorce. For those that are impatient, I'm talking of the elderly women. Traveling abroad is sweet, but going back to Africa is a problem. A lot of them have houses, they have mansions back home, but they cannot afford to stay in Africa for a whole year without coming back to the UK or to America, because they can't survive. They can't survive. They're like indecisive. Like, is it undecided? Because their life says they want to go back to Africa, but their lifestyle says they want to remain abroad. So they become confused. Big problem. So traveling is good. It's really good. But you need to brace up yourself to adapt. Because when I came to the UK, I came from a city that was bustling. You can hear noises everywhere. You go to the market, noise here and there. But suddenly coming to a city now where you don't hear noise, everywhere is totally peaceful, quiet. Especially the city I came to, dead quiet, everybody white. You can only peep through your window to see if anybody is passing through. You know, when I came to the UK, it wasn't funny. I wanted to run back to I wanted to run back to Nigeria, because first of all, what greeted me was the box rooms. All rooms were boxed in. You know what I mean? Like cubicles. Cubicle. You're coming from a house that is, in Africa, your sitting room is big, wide, and spacious. You have freedom to breathe. But when you come to the UK, it's not like that. First of all, you have to adjust to living in smaller rooms, and each rooms are not connected to the other room. Meanwhile, in Africa, we connect our rooms to each other, where you can just jump from one room to the other. No, like the houses in this UK, they are all box rooms. So you first get used to that. Then you now be faced with loneliness, especially when you were in Africa, you have time with your husband, sit down, you chat, you go to parties, you go around, you hold your hands. But yeah, it doesn't work that way. When you're going to work, your husband is coming back from work. Yeah, he has to go and you have to come. Sometimes you meet at the bus stop to exchange keys if you're not driving. Oh my God, the experience is not easy, but after a while, you get used to it and you overcome. You overcome all those obstacles. So I feel sorry for those that are just coming in and are complaining, divorcing. These things will pass away. We all see, if everybody come out to tell you their story, You yourself will keep your mouth shut and you hide your head. Or everyone that you see, that you met in this abroad, that have lived 20, 30, 40 years, they have stories to tell. But they all kept it in their hearts and they went through it with patience. So, this is some of the things I just came to tell you today. If you like what I'm doing, please like and share my page, support me. Also, comment. Let us know your own experience. If you are related to what I've said, you know that what I'm saying is true, or even if you don't think it's true, also comment. Thank you. I love you all guys. Bye.